Hello and welcome back to Best Bets. What's going on? I am Matt O'Leary, joined by Newsday's Joe Manniello. Joe, how you doing today?
Doing good, Matt. How are you?
Doing pretty good. So last week, a little bit of a tough week for both of us. I went 3-4-1, which brings me to 36, 48, and 2. Joe, you went 1-6-1. You're now at 43, 42, and 1 after 16 weeks.
Yeah, but at least I got my best bet right. So
Yes, positive spin zones only here for best bets. All right, so we're going to do a little bit differently for week 17. We're going to do the Jets and the Giants first, and then we're just going to run through all the games quick and just go kind of rapid fire on the rest and talk about best bets and stuff like that. So as for the Jets, they are taking on the Bills. Bills are favored by 1.5. Who do you like here?
this is a common theme with our phone calls. I'm actually doing. I'm outside, and a jet just passed. The airplane just passed. So I was taking the Jets anyway. But what's the spread again? Bills -1.
I have it at 1.5 this morning.
Yeah, I mean, they say they're going to play their starters, but I don't know how long. I mean, they're playing next. They're going to play next weekend, most likely at Houston on Saturday. So they're locked in as the fifth seed. You don't want to go into the playoffs with the back-to-back losses because they lost to New England last week. But I can't see them playing their starters more than a half. So I think the Jets will be motivated. If they win, they'll be 6-2 in the second half, something to build on. And Adam Gates' first year, Sam Darnold. I think I like the Jets. I think it's a close game, though. I think it could even be like the first week 17-16 kind of game, 2017. So I'm not super confident about it, but I'll take the Jets. I think they find a way to win a tight one.
Okay. For me, I'm not so confident in the Jets. I know they're coming off a pretty, nice win against the Steelers, surprise win at home to close out their home schedule. I think this team, they look like they're destined to go 6-10. I just think that Buffalo, maybe they don't play their starters the whole game, but they're the much better team on paper, and I think they're going to try and go into the playoffs, riding some nice momentum here. So I'm going to take the Bills -1.5 this week.
Okay.
How about for the Eagles and the Giants? The Eagles are favored by 4.5.
Yeah, the Eagles win. They're in as NFC East champs, and they could even get in if Dallas loses to Washington. I think the Eagles will win, but I think it's 4.5 is a little bit too high of a line. They need overtime to beat Eli Manning on Monday Night Football 3 weeks ago. They were down 17-3. These rivalry games tend to be close. The Eagles, they don't have a ton of offensive weapons, so they kind of grind out these wins. I don't see them going in there and putting up 35 points. I think it's like a 23-20 kind of game. I wouldn't be shocked if the Giants even won. So I think the Eagles will win because they need to win to get in. But I think Daniel Jones, Giants have an advantage in the fact that they haven't seen him yet because Eli played the first game. So I think it's also probably Pat Shermer's last game as coach, and I think the Giants will rally around that and embrace the idea of playing spoiler. So I like getting 4.5 points with the home team, Giants.
Okay. I'm going to go with the Eagles here. 4.5 seems like kind of a big number. I went back and forth on it, to be honest with you, for most of the week. But my logic behind it is this is obviously a must-win game for the Eagles. They're trying to get in. I think it's going to be a close game, and then there's going to be like a touchdown late, and the Eagles are going to end up pulling away and covering, maybe winning by like 7 or something like that. I think Daniel Jones is able to have a pretty good day, too, putting up numbers. But at the end of the day, it's hard for me not to go with the desperate team trying to make the playoffs.
Gotcha.
All right, we'll do the game of the week as well before we get into the rest of the slate. So we're going for 49ers and the Seahawks. 49ers are favored by 3. Who do you like this week, Joe?
Yeah, when they first played the first time in Monday Night Football, Niners were my lock of the week, and they wound up losing a classic. But people forget George Kittle didn't play that game, and Emmanuel Sanders left in the first quarter. I just think the Niners are the more complete team. Seahawks, since then, the Seahawks have lost all 3 of the top running backs, including Chris Carson, and they were so desperate they had to bring off Marshawn Lynch, who was eating Skittles on the couch. So they got to bring him back. And I just don't think, I guess it would be like a great story if they won and, he had a great game. I hate, usually you don't like taking betting against Russell Wilson in prime time. But I just don't think the Seahawks are, and all year I haven't thought that they were as good as their record. And you get by with like a lot of Wilson, magic and these tight, close games that most teams would have lost. So I just think the Niners are the better team. They feel like I hate to use the word destined, but they feel like they've been the number 1 team in the NFC all year. So it only seems right that they get the number 1 seed. The winner wins the West. Niners win, they're the number 1 seed. Seahawks win, then probably not going to be the 1 seed, probably the Saints or Packers, but they at least get a home game because they win the division. the Niners are the better team, and Kittle, I think he has a big game. So I like the Niners by at least a touchdown.
Yeah, I'm with you here, Joe. I think obviously the first time they played, the Seahawks won, and it was a great game, like you said, overtime game. I just can't see the Seahawks beating this team twice this year. I think the 49ers are going to be able to win this game and cover the 3-point spread. Like you said, they've been the best team in the NFC all year long. I think they win and get that 1 seed as well.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so now let's just go run through the rest of the slate. We'll start with the Titans and the Texans. Titans are favored by 3.5. Who do you like here?
Yeah, Titans win, and they're the 6th seed. Texans have said they're going to play the starters, but if they get behind 14-0, why would you play Deshaun Watson when you have a playoff game next week? They could be the 3 seed if the Chiefs lose to the Chargers, but that's not going to happen. So they're pretty much locked into the 4th seed. So I don't see why they would risk getting one of their star players hurt. And the Titans, even though they lost 2 in a row to the Texans and the Saints, I think they're a pretty good team. And I think they have a lot of offensive weapons, and I think they win this game by at least a touchdown. So Titans minus 3.5.
Okay. I'm going to go with the Texans because I think that this is going to be a close game all game long, and they're going to keep the starters in. I know it's a long shot in order to move out of that 4 slot, but I think Bill O'Brien's going to want his guys, to play through and, try and carry momentum into the playoffs. And I think even if the Titans win, I think it's probably going to be like a field goal difference. So I'll take the Texans plus 3.5.
Okay.
How about for the Browns and the Bengals? Browns are favored by 2.5. Who do you like here?
Yeah, this is the who cares game of the week. The Browns, my Super Bowl pick, 6-9. It's funny, the Bengals have 1 win, and it feels like the Browns had the worst season, right?
Yep.
So, I think Andy Dalton's finale with the Bengals, most likely. They're home. I can see them getting really pumped up for this game and just emptying the playbook. And so, who knows with this game? But I'll take the points. I think the Bengals win.
Okay. This is another game I went back and forth on, but I ended up going with the Browns just because I think that they're going to try and salvage the season. I know that it's not going to mean anything in the end, and that Freddie Kitchens is, a dead man walking here. But I think that they're going to try to end the season on somewhat of a high note and carry momentum into next year. So I'm going to take the Browns, even though I'm not all that confident. Browns minus 2.5.
Gotcha.
Okay, so the next game on the slate is the Bears and the Vikings. Vikings are favored by 1 point. Who do you like here?
Yeah, this is the toughest game of the week. It was actually Vikings minus 7 Monday afternoon, but once they lost to the Packers and locked into the 6th seed, it went to Vikings minus 1. It's an interesting game. Like, is Mike Zimmer going to play the starters? Do they want to go into the playoffs on a 2-game skid? So I don't know. I'm going to go with Chicago. I went back and forth on this one. I just feel like I would be motivated as a player and a coach to have an 8-8 season over 7-9.
Right.
I know it doesn't sound like a big deal, but it's a losing season. And they're 3-0 against Kirk Cousins since he went to Minnesota. They won all 3 meetings, including this year, 16-6 in week 4. I just don't see this Vikings starter playing the whole way. And even if the backups play, the Vikings have a good defense, so I can see it being a close game. I don't trust Mitchell Trubisky, but I think the Bears should be able to beat the backups, so I'll take the Bears.
That's the thing for me. I'm going to take the Vikings in this one minus 1, and most of it's because I don't trust Mitch Trubisky. I get all the points you're saying about trying to salvage it and get to 8-8, but I really just think that this team is destined to be like a 7-9 type of team, a little bit under 500. They've been disappointing all year long, so even in a spot where it's probably a winnable game, I don't think they get it done, and I think Kirk Cousins, puts up a little bit of numbers here in week 17, and then they go into the playoffs riding high. So give me the Vikings minus 1.
A lot of different picks this week, trying to catch up.
Yeah, I guess so. It's either going to go really good or really bad for me. It might even fall way even more out of it. All right, next game up on the slate is the Colts and the Jaguars. Colts are favored by 4. Who do you like here?
Yeah, this is one of my best picks of the week. Colts minus 4. Speaking of motivation, you have to think they want to be, think about it. The season started, Andrew Luck retired. 8-8, they would have signed up for that then. They were 6-2, so it's a little bit of a disappointment that they fell at the end. But I think Frank Reich's team doesn't quit. I think they'll be motivated for this game to finish 8-8 without Andrew Luck. And they did beat the Jaguars by 20 just a few weeks ago. And other than that Oakland game, the Jacksonville players, they seem to be checked out a long time ago. So I think the Colts win this game going away.
I'm with you. This is actually my best bet this week is the Colts minus 4.
It's like my number 3 best bet.
Yeah, I really like the Colts this week just because the Jaguars have been really disappointing. They started the year like semi-competitive. And then, like you said, once Nick Foles came back and they kind of derailed, they just haven't looked good at all. The Colts, like you said, I think they're going to try and play hard and get to that 8-win mark. So give me the Colts -4 as my best bet this week. Falcons and Buccaneers is next up on the slate. The Bucs are favored by 1. Who do you like here?
Yeah, this should be a fun game. I think it'll be a lot of points. So if you like to bet overs, this is your game. Both teams have been playing really well in the second half, and the season was a little bit longer. Maybe they would have made the playoffs. But I'm going to go with the home team. I just think that this is Jameis Winston's last shot to impress Arians and the management and see if they can bring him back, even if they franchise him. So he's been playing really well, other than last week's interceptions. And I mean, the Falcons, they beat the Falcons by 11. I think it was almost 10 points or over 10 points at Atlanta a few weeks ago. And these games are always high scoring back and forth. If Atlanta wins, I wouldn't be shocked, but I like the Bucs at home. I'll lay the point. I think they win a close one.
Okay, I see another disagreement here. I'm going to go with the Falcons +1. I know that they're the road team in this one. Both teams a little inconsistent, but coming on strong in the second half. I think this is probably Dan Quinn's last game coaching the Falcons, and I think they're going to get up for it a little bit. And I trust the Falcons a little bit more than I trust Jameis Winston. I know he's put up monster numbers, has thrown a ton of interceptions, though, too. But I think the Falcons win a close, high-scoring game. Next up on the slate is the Redskins and the Cowboys. Cowboys are favored by 11 points here. Who do you like?
Yeah, each Sunday, my friend Jeff and I, he used to work at Newsday. We're good buddies. We do like a guess the lines game. Like, I usually tell him the lines and he guesses them. But this past week I did it. And when he said, Redskins and Cowboys, my first thought was like 6.5, 7, 7.5. And he said 11.5. And I was like, wow, that seems way too high. I think the line's inflated because, Dallas needs to win to get in. And, they've basically beaten up bad teams all year, including the Redskins in week 2, I think it was. They won by 10. I just think it's too many points. I think the Redskins, they'll be pumped up to try to, keep them out of the playoffs, even though, if the Eagles win, they're not in, but they're not going to know that final until the game's over. So I think the Redskins will come to play, and I think 11 points is just way too much. I think Cowboys win by 7 or 10 or even less than 7, to be honest with you. So I like getting 11 points with the Redskins.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm taking the Redskins +11, and this would be my upset pick. I think the Cowboys win this game, but I think it's close. The Redskins have been playing teams pretty close here in the second half, and yeah, they're way out of it. They're going to have a top 5 pick probably and all that stuff. But at the end of the day here, they've been playing teams tough. The Cowboys, you don't know what you're going to get from them on a week-to-week basis, so give me the Redskins with the 11 points.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, moving right along here on this slate, we have the Saints and the Panthers up next. Saints are favored by 13. Who do you like here?
Hey, this is my second best bet of the week. I love the Saints here, given 13. I mean, it could be as high as 17. I'd probably lay the points. Carolina checked out a long time ago. They're actually their best. They've lost 7 in a row. Their best loss was at New Orleans a few weeks ago when they lost on a last second kick to the Saints, and they played really well that game. But then they lost to the Redskins, and Ron Rivera got fired, and they just went out of it. So I think the Saints, Saints have a lot to play for. They can still be the 1 seed if they win, and the Niners lose, I think. Or even if they don't win, even if the Niners win, they can still be the 2 seed. And they have a lot to play for. The Panthers have nothing to play for. I think Drew Brees, Michael Thomas, Alvin Kamara, they all have huge games. This is like 38-10. So I love the Saints.
Okay, I'm going to disagree with you again. I'm going with the Panthers just because I think that 13 is too high. The Saints they're going on the road. They're not the same team outside the dome. I like the Saints a lot. I think they're going to do some damage in the playoffs, but I just think the Saints are going to win maybe by a touchdown to 10 points. I don't really think there's going to be a 2-touchdown win here for the Saints in a divisional game on the road. So give me the Panthers +13.
You're going to regret that one.
I probably will, knowing me.
24-0 at the second quarter.
Okay. All right. All right, so we did the Eagles and the Giants already, so we'll hop over that one and move on to the Steelers and the Ravens. Steelers are favored by 2. Who do you like here, Joe?
Yeah, I like the Ravens a lot in this matchup. Everyone's picking the Steelers. They need to win. They need to win, and the Titans lose to get in. But to me, it's all about the Ravens. John Harbaugh, I heard him on the radio say that they want that 14th win. And they already clinched home field. They're going to be resting Lamar Jackson, all their starters. But RG3 isn't that much who's better, RG3 or Duck Hodges? I mean,
Sure.
it's kind of a wash, I guess. RG3 is rusty, but I think he'll have something to prove. Show that he still can play quarterback in the NFL. And the Ravens have a good defense, so it's not like I don't think they're gonna rest every single starter. So I think they'll end at home. So I mean, is Duck Hodges a guarantee to win this game in Baltimore? I think it's a low-scoring game, maybe even just a field goal game, 9-6, or like a 12-10 kind of game. Or I like the Ravens to win the game. I think they're not going to be playing for 2 more weeks, and I think they'll rally around the backups. And I mean, Steelers' defense is really good, so it's not as good as it's a toss-up. But I like the Ravens +2, and that would be my underdog pick.
Okay. I like that pick a lot, Joe. I'm going to go with it as well. I think the Ravens can definitely win this game for a lot of the same reasons you said. I can't trust Duck Hodges. I really can't. Watching him, in full last week as he played the Jets, he's not a good quarterback. And that Ravens defense is really solid. Even if they don't play the starters, like you said, I don't expect him to put up a ton of points. And I think the Ravens are going to be able to do just enough offensively to win this game. Maybe like a 17-13 kind of game, like you said, on the lower scoring side. So I agree. Give me the Ravens +2 here. Moving right along, we got the Dolphins and the Patriots. Pats are favored by 15.5. Who do you like here?
Yeah, they were favored by 18.5 back in week 2, and they won 43-0. Dolphins are a much better team now than then, so I think it'll be closer than that. But I'm still going to take the Pats, even though it's a huge number. They always seem to win these games big. Week 17, you're a Jets fan, you know that. They beat the Jets 38-3. I think last year, and the year before that, 26-6. They always seem to come on strong at the end. I feel like this is like a 34-17 kind of game, so it's a big number, and the Dolphins cover, I won't be shocked. They've been a gritty team. Second half, they've been one of the best bets against the spread. Brian Flores has done an amazing job, and I think they have a good future there with him. But this is just the Patriots' time to beat these bad teams, so I think I'll lay the big number. I think Pats win by 17-20.
Okay, see, I'm scared off by that big spread again, so I'm going to go with the Dolphins +15.5. I think it's too big of a number. I think this is probably like a 10-point game, and I think the Dolphins hang around for maybe the first half or 3/4 of this game and make it really close. Like you said, Flores has done a really, really good job. This team has no business winning as many games as they did this year. So give me the Dolphins +15.5. I think it's going to be a closer game than people think. Next up is the Packers and the Lions. Packers are favored by 12.5. Who do you like here?
Yeah, Packers are my best bet. I think they're going to crush the Lions. When they played the first time, they should have lost. The refs bailed them out against that Monday night game, which was awful. I really still upset about that game. I feel so bad for the Lions and their fans. But the Lions have won like one game since then. They've lost 8 straight. They lost 8 in a row. And they haven't covered in 10 games, so they had a push on Thanksgiving. And 0-9-1 the last 10. Rodgers owns the Lions, 14-5 career record. It was like 37 touchdowns to 9 interceptions or something ridiculous like that. I think he has a huge game. Packers have all the motivation. If they win, I'm pretty sure they lock. If they win, they're definitely getting a bye. And if the Niners lose, then they go all the way up to the 1 seed. So that win on Monday night in Minnesota was huge. Puts them in great position here. I see them winning this game going away. 38-10 kind of game. I think they're going to blow them out. And I'll lay the big number. Packers -12.5, best bet.
Okay. See, I agree with you on this one. I'm going with the Packers -12.5. I know that's a big number, but like you said, this team still has a ton to play for. I think Aaron Rodgers could put up a huge performance against this Lions team who, like you said, they're really checked out now at this point. They haven't been good in a while. So give me the Packers -12.5, and I think they run away with this one in a blowout.
Yep, definitely.
All right, next up on the slate is the Chargers and the Chiefs. Chiefs favored by 8.5. Who do you like here, Joe?
Yeah, when I first saw this game, I was going to consider making the Chiefs my best bet. But then I realized that the Patriots, I'm still taking the Chiefs, but the Patriots are playing at the same time. So let's say the Patriots are up big on the Dolphins. The Chiefs know they can't get the 2 seed, so maybe they'll pull stars in the second half possibly. But they can still get the 2 seed if the Pats lose and they win. But the Pats aren't going to lose to Miami. So
right.
I think the Chiefs, I think they'll still find a way to win by 10. I mean, they've been playing really well. They've covered 5 in a row, covered 5 in a row. The defense is allowing they had back-to-back 3-point games and playing really, really well. I mean, they think they're like it's crazy to call them a sleeper team with Patrick Mahomes, but I think they're like the AFC playoff sleeper team after the Ravens and Pats. So I think the Chargers is one of the most miserable, frustrating seasons I can remember for a team. Like so many close losses and underachieving. So I think they'll be happy to get rid of this game and rid of this season. They actually played the Chiefs well the first time in Mexico City. They lost by 7.
Yep.
I think Rivers had a few interceptions, including on the last play. But I could picture him throwing a pick six. And I mean, the Chiefs win by 7, they win by 7. But I think they can cover this and win by 10 points. So I'll lay the 8.5.
Yeah, I'm with you here, Joe. I think the Chiefs are going to be motivated and try, end the season on a high note. The Chargers, like you said, this has been a really disappointing year. They were a playoff team last year. They were in the divisional round, and now this year they just can't get out of their own way. They're losing a lot of close games. I just think they kind of mail it in here, and the Chiefs go, win this game by 10 to 14 points. So give me the Chiefs minus 8.5 here. I agree.
Yeah, even if they do rest starters, they might be up so big, like 21-0 in the first half, that it might not even matter.
Exactly, I have the same feeling as you. All right, how about in the Cardinals and the Rams? The Rams are favored by 7.5 here.
Yeah, actually, a few weeks ago I picked the Rams. Picked the Cardinals as my best bet. They were off a bye, played the Rams, and the Rams had just lost to the Ravens by 39 on Monday night. I thought they would, check out, but they crushed them 34-7. And I don't know if Kyler Murray's going to play, which is a big deal. And the Rams, it's hard. The Rams made the Super Bowl last year. Now this year, Week 17, the game means nothing. They almost beat the Niners, and if they had won, it would have been interesting because they could have got the 6th seed over the Vikings. So I don't know what the mindset is. It could be like, I just don't see them not playing this game. I think McVay is a great young coach, and then one thing I've always tracked when doing the picks column, he's 5-0 against Arizona, and every game has been a blowout. Some of them by 30, some by 20, 15. So even though it's a big number for a team that's not motivated to make a playoff spot, I think McVay owns the Cardinals. So I'll lay the 7.5. I think they win by double digits.
Okay. See, again, I'm going to be scared off by that big number. I'm taking the Cardinals plus 7.5. I know their season's done. Rams are done. We get that. But I really like what Cliff Kingsbury's done. Kyler maybe not going scares me a little bit with this pick. But I think this is a game where the Rams win by maybe 4 points or something like that. I think the Cardinals, especially, how they played the second half here, I think they've figured it out a little bit, or their plan going forward at least. So I like the Cardinals plus 7.5 in this one. And then for the last game on the slate, it's the Raiders and the Broncos. Broncos favored by 3 points. Who do you like here?
Yeah, this is a tough game to pick. I went back and forth on this one. My first thought was take the Raiders because, it's weird. Last week they needed to win, which they did, and have everything fall in their place, like 4 different things, and it did. This week they need to win and have a few other teams. They need the Colts to win. They need the Pats to win. They need Steelers and Titans to lose. So it's not crazy if they make the playoffs. It's not far. I think it's a 12.5% chance. But I think they're going to fall short. I don't think they're going to win because I was reminded, reading other people's picks, I was reminded that this game is going to be in cold Denver, and Derek Carr is 0-9 again in the cold weather games under 50 degrees.
Wow.
And I looked up the Denver forecast. It's like 35 degrees at kickoff. I just think Broncos, they had a weird season. The Broncos are much better than their record. Drew Lock has played well. They lost a ton of close games. Kind of like the AFC's version of the Bucs.
Right.
I just feel like they'll be super motivated in Vic Fangio's first year. The Raiders beat them in week 1. If they know, I think if I was a player, if I was a coach, I'd be so motivated to keep a rival from getting a playoff spot. So I think that they show up big in this game. The 3 points is I don't know. I thought the Raiders might even be favored in this game or pick them. So I wish it was under 3. But Carr's history in the cold weather scares me off the Raiders. And I think the Broncos win by more than 3. But it's close. I think if the Raiders win, I won't be shocked. But I just don't. I think last week's win at the Chargers is more about the Chargers and the Raiders. I think the Broncos find a way to win.
Yeah, I agree with you here, Joe. The Broncos minus 3. I like this game a lot. Drew Lock's really played pretty well here since coming in replacing Flacco and all that stuff. So I like them. I think they're going to win by maybe like 6 points or even a touchdown. Even the Raiders really fell off after losing to the Jets. And I just think that, like you said, last week's game was more about how awful the Chargers have been this year than how good the Raiders have been. And I didn't know that with the cold weather games and with the Carr stat. That's a really interesting one. So I think that even enhances my pick. So Broncos minus 3, I'm with you for sure.
Yeah, I only knew about that because when he plays Kansas City, he's never won there, and then they flashed that stat, and I forgot about it, and then I was Googling stuff, and I found someone had that in their picks, and it reminded me.
Okay, very good. I'm going to run through them real quick. So Joe is on the Jets plus 1.5. I'm on the Bills minus 1.5. Joe is also on the Giants plus 4.5. I'm on the Eagles minus 4.5. We're both on the 49ers -3 over the Seahawks. Joe's on the Titans -3.5. I'm on the Texans +3.5. Joe's on the Bengals +2.5, while I'm on the Browns -2.5. Joe likes the Bears +1, while I like the Vikings -1. Both on the Colts -4, and that's my best bet this week. Joe likes the Bucs -1, where I'm on the Falcons +1. Joe likes the Redskins +11. I do as well. That's my underdog pick. Joe's on the Saints -13. I'm on the Panthers +13. Probably going to regret that one. Joe likes the Ravens +2 as his underdog bet. I also like the Ravens +2. Joe likes the Pats -15.5. I'm on the Dolphins +15.5. Joe's best bet, Packers -12.5. I am also on the Packers -12.5. Both on the Chiefs -8.5. Joe's on the Rams -7.5, while I'm on the Cardinals +7.5. And to round out the slate, we are both on the Broncos -3.
I was counting as you were going. I'm pretty sure that's nine different picks. This is a lot. We usually agree.
Yeah, we're usually semi on the same page. This week is very different, so I could either make up a lot of ground or fall even further behind, Joe.
Yeah, what's the record again? I'm 43. What do you have, 36?
Yes.
Yeah, so if you win every game, you beat me by 2.
Well, look at that. That would be...
You have to go 16-0, though.
Crazier things have happened, yeah.
All right, Matt.
All right, thanks so much for coming on with me, Joe. Appreciate it.
Thanks so much.